Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, it's time for your daily dose of the Trump update. It was a bombshell of all bombshells. Today, in open court, Michael Cohen confirmed that he stole $30,000 from Donald Trump, or the Trump organizations more specifically, a distinction without a difference. Michael Cohen admits in open court, not only did he surreptitiously record his own conversations with his own client, he stole $30,000 from Donald Trump. It was such a bombshell that even the propagandist hacks at MSM were finally compelled to report on it. From Bloomberg, Cohen admits stealing $30,000 from Trump after paper bag payout. From Newsweek, Michael Cohen admits to stealing from Trump in blow to Alvin Bragg's case. From the propagandists at ABC News, Trump trial live updates. Michael Cohen explains why he took extra $30,000. Now, although that was by far the biggest bombshell of the day, if not the trial, and it was the biggest bombshell of the trial, it wasn't the only bombshell of the day. We got further confirmation that Michael Cohen is in fact a political operative, that this entire persecution is a political operation, and we have the judge basically setting this up so that a corrupt and prejudiced jury pool can render a verdict, even though there's absolutely no case in law. We'll get there at the end, but first let's just go through some of the highlights of the tweets coming from Inner City Press on Twitter, at Inner City Press. At Inner City Press, Cohen, I spoke to reporters, but not about this case. Trump's lawyer Blanche, this year, how often have you spoke with the prosecutors? Cohen, 20 so. Last time, 10 days ago. Blanche, they asked you questions similar to what they asked you on the stand. Cohen, yes. Here you have Michael Cohen admitting that he has met with prosecutors 20-some times, that they prepped him, they gave him all the questions they were going to ask him at trial. And my goodness, did his examination in chief go well when he knew the answers that were going to be asked by a very friendly prosecutor when they prepped him, etc., etc. My goodness, his examination in chief went very well, but his cross-examination, not so well. And then we discover that not only did Michael Cohen meet with Alvin Bragg and the prosecutor 20-so times in the last year, he also met with Daniel Goldman, who you will remember has a viral video on Twitter in which he admits to having prepped Michael Cohen.
And I have deposed Michael Cohen. I have met with him a number of times to prepare him.
Blanche, do you know Dan Goldman? Cohen, now a member of Congress. Trump's lawyer Blanche, how many times did you meet with him before testifying to Congress? Cohen, twice. Blanche, and that was one of the times that you lied on Stormy Daniels. You say when you spoke with President Trump, it was about that issue. Cohen, yes. Oh, really? So we now have Michael Cohen confirming that he did in fact meet with Dan Goldman, who did in fact prep Michael Cohen for his testimony, and that Michael Cohen lied to Congress? That leaves me with some questions for one Dan Goldman as to what the nature of his prepping of Michael Cohen was. Did Dan Goldman, a member of Congress, tell Michael Cohen to lie for this political persecution? Trump's lawyer Blanche, so on the day you didn't speak with President Trump about any of these other matters. Cohen, it was Stormy Daniels that personally concerned me. Trump's lawyer Blanche, you said $130,000 for Daniels, $50,000 for Redfinch for polling. Cohen, yes. Trump's lawyer Blanche, but you only paid Redfinch $20,000. How'd you get it for him? Cohen, I took it out of TD Bank over several days. Blanche, in a duffel bag? Cohen, no, in a brown paper bag. Blanche, you were square with him? Cohen, he would have liked the $30,000. Blanche makes a joke about how Michael Cohen took out $50,000 in cash from TD, suggesting it was in a duffel bag. But Cohen, the fraudster that he is, knows better that you don't need a duffel bag for $50,000 or $30,000. A brown paper bag will do it when you're taking out tens of thousands of dollars in cash and then stealing $30,000 from your own client. Trump's lawyer Blanche, but Alan Weisselberg grossed up to $100,000. So you stole from the Trump organization, right? Cohen, I did. Blanche, have you been prosecuted for larceny or even made to pay it back? Cohen, no, sir. Trump's lawyer Blanche, you stole from the Trump organization. Cohen, yes. Blanche, if you'd had a retainer agreement, it would have been with Mr. Trump. Cohen, yes. Appreciate how outrageous this is. You have a confirmed liar, now a confirmed thief, whose testimony that Trump knew about the payments that Michael Cohen was making to Stormy Daniels, which included the $50,000 to Redfinch, of which Michael Cohen kept $30,000. That is what this case is based on, a liar and a thief's testimony. You either have Alvin Bragg, who knew that Michael Cohen is a liar, or didn't know that Michael Cohen is a liar, and I don't know which one's worse, because you cannot not know that Michael Cohen is a liar. But they are using Michael Cohen as a political operative for this bullcrap persecution, and now Michael Cohen is admitting that he met with the prosecution 20-some times over the last year, and that he stole from his own client, who he was also surreptitiously recording. And when I said a week ago that Michael Cohen was in on the extortion, I guess I might have been right and wrong. It wasn't extortion, it was just outright theft. Or at least a portion, because recall that the $130,000 that was paid to Stormy Daniels, there was also the $50,000 for Red Finch, of which Michael Cohen now admits he stole $30,000. Why? Because he was pissed with the only $60,000 bonus, which was also factored into that amount. It was grossed up so that Michael Cohen wouldn't really have to pay taxes on it, in that he would have a net amount after tax of what he was owed. This is the man. A liar, a thief, a scoundrel, and Alvin Bragg knew damn well from day one. And as if Michael Cohen wasn't already getting paid enough by the Trump org, as if he wasn't already stealing enough from the Trump org, by golly, just wait until you hear how much money he's making based on this prosecution. Hey, he and the Judge Juan Marchand's daughter have something in common after all. Bada bing, bada boom, this isn't funny. Trump's lawyer Blanche, you made $4.5 million in 18 months, but how'd you get money between your guilty plea and the publication of your book? Cohen, I had no income. I started my podcast in the fall of 2020. Trump's lawyer Blanche, how much do you make from your 2 podcasts? Cohen, $400,000. Blanche, you're pitching a TV show based on your life. Cohen, there is a TV show. A guy who worked on Mea Culpa is working on it. Blanche, has it been picked up? Cohen, no. But wait, there's more, because the convicted perjurer, who is now also an admitted thief, who's making money hands over fist through hook and by crook, admits to making money in other ways as well. They're back, all rise. Trump's lawyer Blanche, the show, quote, the fixer, end quote. How long have you been helping to pitch it? Cohen, 3 months. Blanche, are you writing a 3rd book? Cohen, I'm considering. Blanche, and you're considering running for Congress? Cohen, yes. Because where else would a convicted felon, perjurer, and now admitted thief go after his illustrious career in law and after having his law license revoked? Why, he would go to Congress. Trump's lawyer Blanche, based on daily attacks on President Trump. Cohen, based on my journey. Blanche, the Stormy Daniels payment was $130,000. You paid Red Finch $20,000. The rest is the gross up and a $60,000 bonus you claim Mr. Weisselberg said you got. Cohen, yes. Trump's lawyer Blanche, at the Trump org you made $500,000 a year. Since then you've made much more, right? Cohen, yes. Blanche, do you have a financial interest in the outcome of this case? Cohen, yes, I talk about it on my podcast and on TikTok, and earn. And that's where the cross-examination, which could not have possibly been more devastating both for Cohen and for this entire prosecution, that's pretty much where it ends. And then you get the redirect from the prosecutors, who now have to find a way of undoing all of the damage Cohen did in his cross-examination. And how do you do that? Lie, and lie some more, and just say everything you just admitted to in cross-examination was untrue. Prosecutor Hoffinger, in October 2016, you were too busy to finalize the terms of paying Stormy Daniels. That's a leading question, by the way. Cohen, no sir, or sorry, no ma'am. Hoffinger, did the $420,000 have anything to do with the work you did for Mr. Trump? Cohen, no. Prosecutor Hoffinger, Red Finch, what was the work? Cohen, to create an algorithm to have Mr. Trump raise in a poll of businessmen on CNBC into the top 10. Red Finch acquired IP addresses until Mr. Trump was number 9. Hoffinger, then Mr. Trump wouldn't pay? Cohen, yes. Prosecutor Hoffinger, the extra $30,000. Why'd you keep it? The extra $30,000? Holy crab apples, is that some disingenuous framing? But it's so disingenuous, as you'll recall from earlier on in this vlog, one of the MSM propagandist hack outlets actually ran with it. The extra $30,000, why'd you keep it? More like, why'd you steal $30,000? Prosecutor Hoffinger, the extra $30,000, why'd you keep it? Cohen, I was angry because of the reduction of the bonus. It was almost like self-help. I had laid out money to Red Finch. Hoffinger, the letter to the FEC, People's 201, objection, Bove carries a binder. Prosecutor Hoffinger, you wrote the payment does not constitute a campaign contribution. Was that not true? Cohen, it was not true. Justice Marchand, seemingly sua sponte, jurors, Mr. Cohen's guilty plea is not evidence. So not only do you have corrupt Judge Juan Marchand, whose daughter is profiting off this prosecution, but apparently not as much as Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels, you have the judge seemingly sua sponte and for the benefit of the prosecution reminding the jurors that Michael Cohen's guilty plea is not evidence. It is outrageous. Basically, in addition to rendering decisions on objections that are almost exclusively to the detriment of the defense, now he is sua sponte seemingly just taking the opportunity to remind the jury, don't worry, this shouldn't be used against Michael Cohen. Prosecutor Hoffinger, did Mr. Trump approve these false statements? Cohen, he did. Hoffinger, and this quote, client says thanks for what you do, end quote. Cohen, it was about that. Hoffinger, was this NDA perfectly legal? Cohen, no ma'am. Hoffinger, did you plead guilty? Cohen, yes. Cohen, who, from my recollection, admitted under cross that the NDA was perfectly legal. NDAs are, in fact, perfectly legal. Now, in redirect, he's got to come back and somehow rectify that disastrous cross-examination, and now he affirms yet again that the NDA wasn't legal. And then the prosecutor takes another opportunity to ask yet another leading question to try and make Michael Cohen look like the victim in all of this. Prosecutor Hoffinger, I know you may feel like you are on trial here, but are you? Cohen, yes. Hoffinger, how is this different than 2018? Cohen, my wife is not being threatened. Hoffinger, your invoices were false. Cohen, they were false. The stub too. Trust me, because I'm a convicted perjurer and now an admitted thief, but I'm telling you the truth now to throw Mr. Trump under the bus while making money hand over fist from this very prosecution. It is an absolute freaking outrage. And then we have a brief recross, because you have the examination in chief, then you have the cross-examination, then you have the redirect, and if anything new comes up on redirect, you can have a recross, and we have a short recross from Mr. Blanche. Recross, Trump's lawyer Blanche, you lost your license. Is that President Trump's fault? Cohen, in part. Blanche, but wasn't part of it your false statements to a bank and tax evasion? In New York, any felony costs you your license, right? Cohen, correct. And then that pretty much did it for Michael Cohen. He leaves, and then we have Bob Costello take the stand. Bob Costello is being called as a witness for the defense. Bob Costello was Michael Cohen's attorney, or wasn't Michael Cohen's attorney, depending on who you ask and when, but Bob Costello was Michael Cohen's attorney. Holy crab apples, this is hilarious only because the judge is so wildly prejudiced, wildly biased in this case, that Bob Costello gives the judge the stink eye, and the judge didn't like it much. Costello, Mr. Cohen was pacing. He was manic. He said, "What's my escape route?" Trump's lawyer Bove, "Did you give instructions on cooperation?" Costello, "No, I informed him." Prosecutor, objection! Justice Merchan sustained. Later on, Trump's lawyer Bove, "What do you recall about prosecution? Objection. Justice Merchan sustained." Costello, "Geez." Justice Merchan, "Sorry." Bove, "Did the term back channel?" Prosecutor, objection. Justice Merchan sustained. This is wild. You have the prosecution objecting before the question is even asked, and the judge sustaining the objection. It's so egregious. You actually saw Bob Costello say "geez" on the stand because he can't believe the conduct of the judge, and then the judge says, "Excuse me," and wait until you hear the judge reprimand Bob Costello after he asks the jury to leave. Trump's lawyer Bove, "What did you mean by prosecution objection?" Judge Merchan sustained. Costello shakes his head. Justice Merchan, "Can the jury step out?" They do. Justice Merchan, "Mr. Costello, I want to discuss decorum. You don't say geez." Justice Merchan, "You don't give me side eye or roll your eyes. Clear the courtroom." Justice Merchan is so out of line, Bob Costello can barely even believe what he's seeing, and the judge doesn't like Bob Costello's reaction and reprimands him. All right, that's about the size of it, but wait until you hear what the judge has to say when the defense again reiterates it's going to ask for a dismissal, because the prosecution has by no means made its case, and in fact the prosecution, as far as any reasonable person who's following this case should be concerned, has shown that this has been an absolute political hit job and total election interference, clear as day. Justice Merchan will break here for the day. Jury leaves. Prosecutor Hoffinger, "I have 30 or 45 minutes left. Defense redirect will be short." Justice Merchan, "So you'll rest early tomorrow." Trump's lawyer Blanche, "We request an order of dismissal." Trump's lawyer Blanche, "There is no evidence the records were false. Mr. Cohen did legal work in 2017. He admitted it. There is no false business filing and no evidence of any intent to defraud." Trump is turned to watch Blanche as he argues. Trump's lawyer Blanche, "There was no discussion at the October 2015 meeting of any catch and kill. Karen McDougal, she never even wanted her story out. Stormy Daniels, AMI wanted no part of it, so Mr. Cohen entered into an NDA, no criminal intent." Trump's lawyer Blanche, "We didn't just catch Mr. Cohen in a lie. He has a history of lies, now in this courtroom too."
Justice Merchan, "You say his lies are irrefutable. You think he's going to fool 12 New Yorkers? Question mark.
Do you understand what Judge Merchan is doing right there? They are arguing that not only has no criminal intent been proven in court, no evidence adduced that would allow a reasonable juror to conclude guilt, but they're saying also that Michael Cohen is a proven liar, has lied irrefutably on the stand, to which Judge Merchan says, well, if his lies are so irrefutable, then a jury surely won't believe them. What's up?
Can I go to the soccer field?
Yes, you can. The judge is saying that, well, if his lies are so irrefutable, then a jury surely should come to the right decision. In fact, where the judge, as a matter of law, must dismiss this, and if the judge does not dismiss this, this is proof, irrefutable proof of the corruption of Judge Merchan. We all know it, though. He's not going to dismiss it. He's going to leave it in the hands of the jury because this is all rubbish. If Judge Merchan does not dismiss this case outright, it is worthy of impeachment and disbarment, which will never happen. But if he does not dismiss this case outright after all the evidence that has been adduced or has has not been adduced. It's corruption of the highest order. I'm sure it'll work out very well for his daughter, who will continue to fundraise off this case. It'll work out very well for Michael Cohen, who will continue to make money off this case. It will work out well for Stormy Daniels, who will probably continue to make money off this case. And it sure as sugar is going to work out well for Joe Biden, who gets to run with the talking points that Trump is facing a 34-count felony indictment. And even though he got acquitted, his behavior was so bad that he nonetheless had to stand trial. This is election interference through and through. Understand it, shout it from mountaintop, get mad as hell, and make people understand this is election interference. All right, with that said, we'll see where this goes tomorrow. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure your notifications are turned on. But more important than anything, get outside, exercise, eat healthy, sunlight, talk to people in real life. Viva Frei, the Viva Frei on Twitter, vivabarneslaw.locals.com for the best above average community out there. And now you know your vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah!
And I have deposed Michael Cohen. I have met with him a number of times to prepare him